We're following the breaking news on the mass shooting in Orlando, Florida, that's left 50 people dead and more than 50 people injured. The shooter actually called 911 surrounding the attack to pledge allegiance to ISIS and mentioned the Boston bombers, according to a U.S. official. Evan Perez is getting this information for us. Evan's joining us on the phone. Evan, specifically update our viewers what you've just learned.
Well, Wolf, we know that one reason why FBI immediately believed that this was an Islamic attack was simply because of that phone call that the shooter made. He made a call to 911 around that time of the attacks and pledged allegiance to ISIS. Now, the investigation is still ongoing. There's still a lot of information that is not known because the shooter is dead. They're going to have to put a lot of this together. But we do know that he was investigated, at least in the past, by the FBI. And he wasn't the focus of these investigations, but he was suspected of having ties to Islamic extremists and sympathy with Islamic extremist ideology. We're told that those investigations concluded without any action on him, any charges brought against him. And again, he wasn't the focus of those investigations. His name came up as part of an ongoing investigation of other people. Now, the question that will be asked in the next few days, Wolf, is how someone with that past was able to still continue to work as a private security guard for a company that does a lot of work with the federal government. They have contracts to protect federal buildings, and we know that he worked for one of these major contractors down there in Fort Pierce, Florida, where he lived. Again, that's going to be the top of every official's mind, simply because the fact that he had this job, this private security guard license, allowed him to buy firearms with minimal questions asked. He was able to buy at least one of the firearms that was found at the scene, a Glock pistol. He was able to buy that in the last couple of weeks legally from a firearms dealer in the St. Lucie County area. So we know that is the source of one of the firearms, and he was able to do that legally, partly because he had this security guard's license that allowed him to do this.